Okay, I've requested to make another video by my nephew Felice. I want everybody to look him up. He's a up and coming rapper. He's in New York. Uh, he under Timberland Productions, so look him up. And he wanted me to make a video on the war on drugs part 2. See, the war on drug part 1, if you look at my videos, I want y'all to go through there, but this the war on drug part 2. And the reason I'm saying the war on drug part 2 is because once we got in the system, once they got all these federal prisons built, they started putting in drugs treatment centers. And now the government is double dipping. You in the federal system, they paying you $40,000-$50,000 to house you. Now you getting another $40,000-$50,000 to put all the addicts that they were saying drug kingpins inside the federal system. Now they doing drug treatment because they addicts. So now the government now they've been getting anywhere from $80,000 to $120,000 per inmate because you locked up on the war on drugs and also you taking treatment from the war on drugs. Because at that time, nobody actually that was in the feds really was kingpins. You had some kingpins, and you had a lot of low-level drug dealers. But at time one, you had a lot of addicts that were getting caught up with the mandatory minimum sentence that you was required to get time. The judge couldn't help you, and the prosecution could not go under the guidelines. So the judge's hand was tied. So they knew these guys was addicts, but they were locking them up. So what the government did, that's another way of committing genocide in a community. If you take all the fathers and all the leaders out the household, guess what? Now the mothers are out there without a second teammate, the father. Now now she's actually really is a single parent household. See, people have single parent household wrong. If a man is picking up his child, is a man providing for his child, a man responsible for a child and spending time with him, that is not a single household. You know, they just not in the same household. Now, when we start going to prison in the 80s and 90s for the war on drugs, now the woman in a single household, now she got to be dependent on the government. And by being dependent on the government, she might have to get on Section 8 and get welfare and get Medicaid. So now the father's not in the household. She actually really is a single parent raising a child, especially young boys. Now, guess what? The kids from the 80s to the 90s, they the ones that became the problem child now. The level of drug dealing and gangbanging went to a higher level. So the war on drug was highly successful, and they plotting a new war on drugs, but people don't see it. So this going to be a continuation from part 1 and 2 to part 3. Peace out.